Vamos a seguir. Vamos a seguir. Ahí. Vamos. Habilidades. ¿Esta? No, era esta. 1695. Joder. Sí que están caras las cosas, ¿eh? ¿Esto qué era? Cartas. Vale, esto ya lo vimos. Vale, por aquí no es, eso seguro. Vamos del tirón a la principal. Tampoco hay ninguna secundaria por aquí. No puedo ir a ningún lado. Tengo que avanzar en principal. Lo he hecho por ahora todo, tío. Todo, tanto principal como secundaria. Bueno, principal evidentemente es obligatorio. Todas las secundarias las he hecho. No creo que las haga todas las que vienen por ahora,
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in this area started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. She's fallen into the hands of the Empire.
O la están buscando por proteger a los portadores, o ella se ha pirado ya porque está hasta el coño.
They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Vale, a por Marta, reúnete con los libertadores. Vale, ahora mira, sí que nos dan secundarias aquí. Pero la principal está aquí. Vamos a la fonda.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Wait.
Let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about
Una purga, sí, lo que estaban haciendo también en la zona de antes, tío. Están matando a todos los portadores. Me da 10 de algo que no sé qué cojones es. Voy a la abadía de San... Inaccesible.
That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Voy a ir full principal, porque matar enemigos la verdad que es bastante inútil, tío. No sirve para nada.
Look. Up ahead.
Pero bueno, Marta.
Arthur, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do
Vale.
something.
Tell us what happened.
Mucha historia, muchas cinemáticas, tío.
Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields.
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be
Como
alive.
te digo, quedarte en medio de un puente no es la mejor de las
Think you
ideas,
can
¿eh?
make it back to the inn. Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
Llámame raro, Marta.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Y ahora se vuelve andando. No sé, tío.
Black shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one.
No voy a pelear, nivel 19 además los bichos, o sea...
Fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Me la pelan los enemigos. Es que no renta nada, es perder el tiempo.
Are we too late?
There might
Pues sí.
still be someone inside.
Se me ha convertido en piedra y ceniza.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding
Sí,
with
no.
the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night.
Este es tocho, ¿eh?
Welcome last.
Está guapo la armadura que tiene, tío. Negra y dorada, muy
On these
guapo.
our swords we swear.
How
Sí.
dare you
Toda la
speak
oscuridad
those
que tú
words?
quieras.
Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Probablemente. No he entendido lo que he hecho ahí, pero bueno. Subimos de nivel al 25.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Me han dado 10 puntos de algo de que por una estrellita. Vale, esto de hálito de viento me da igual.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
ver si hay algo por aquí, tío. Nada.
Found her.
The abbot.
El abad también la palma. Que no se salva ni Dios, ¿eh? Ni Dios se salva.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
Yes.
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true.
Y está hecho casi todo piedra, ¿eh?
The Black Shields will return. The cuttings will continue. Rosaria will never be safe
La purga.
unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg Spain
¿Eso no sabes de que el Cid ha palmado o qué?
and tell her
Eres tonto.
this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
In here, we found a survivor.
Clive. He's gone.
He's gone es como se ha ido, ¿no? En vez de decir se ha muerto, dice he's gone. He's o she's. She's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Porque me deja priorizar una misión principal. No me debería dejar priorizarla, ¿no? Es como si tuviera alguna otra misión principal. Tiene sentido. Por cierto, voy a mirar qué cojones es la moneda esa, tío. Estoy haciendo tiempos oscuros. Bueno, estas son todas las misiones que he hecho, ¿no? Y dentro de todo esto, pues estamos haciendo esta, vale. ¿No? Espérate. Vale, vamos al inventario un momento. Yo tengo a lo mejor espada coralina. El coral, si bien puede tener rebordes cortantes, es un material extremadamente frágil, por lo que su uso en las forjas de armas blancas es insólito. Sin embargo, esta hoja de origen incierto presume de gran resistencia y un filo que nada tiene que enviar al sable de Odín. Me gusta mucho la música, tío. Me estaban dando unos puntos que no sabes qué son. O sea, que no sé qué son, tío. ¿Qué bicho es ese, tío? Arimán, clase C. ¿Cómo? ¿Eso qué es, tío? Escoria. Se portaba Valisthea y encontrarás temibles enemigos llamados Escoria. Aunque se pongan todo un reto, al derrotarlo no solo tendrás que elegir el nombre, sino también preciosos materiales para aplicar un nuevo equipo y mejorar el que ya tienes. También puedes tener combate si no te ves preparado para conocer más acerca de dónde encontrarlas y las recompensas. Las recompensas que obtendrás si acabas con ella. Habla con el Moguri de la guarida. Y estar con todo el mundo anuncios. Y el 25, ¿eh? Que la cámara a veces me jode mucho, tío. Lo deja duro, ¿eh? Está duro que te caga. ¿Eso no se puede esquivar o qué? Hostia. He forzado para ver si era capaz de esquivar eso, tío, porque... Hostia, pero joder, la he liado porque me quedaba nada, tío. Me ha quitado 1774. O sea, me ha quitado toda mi vida. No me jodas, tío. Quiero matar al bicho ese, tío. Hostia, pero está durísimo, ¿no? Joder, cómo mola, tío, una pelea así. Es lo más difícil hasta ahora del juego, tío. Un bicho así tocho, tío. Eso está guapo, tío. La Escoria se llama. Joder, la primera vez que muero. Hacía tiempo que no moría, ¿eh? He muerto 3 veces en todo lo que llevamos, tío. Ay, pero bueno, bien merecido esta muerte. A ver qué tiene el pavo este. Nada, tío, es que es basura todo, tío. Árbol protector, incrementa el tiempo de efecto. Musiquita. Elixir, tío. Restablece toda la vitalidad, Toda la vitalidad. Qué barbaridad. A ver, las pociones son una puta mierda. Las pociones no curan absolutamente nada. Tío, aparecerá de nuevo en el mapa, tío, la escoria. Sí, 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 aparece aquí. Ariman, vale. Vamos a matarlo ahora, lo hemos matado. Me molaría poder invocar a Ifrit, tío, cuando me saliera de la punta del ciruelo, tío. He forzado, tío, porque el terremoto lo he esquivado bien un par de veces. Digo, a ver si soy capaz, pero me ha pegado duro. Ahora. Eso no se puede esquivar. Pégale, pero... Bueno, se la lleva también. Es imposible de esquivar, no se puede, tío. La diferencia de antes a ahora, Cuando sabes algún ataque y tal, lo pules, tío. Vale, lo he puesto mirando para Cuenquita. Vale, fácil, en realidad era fácil. Vale, materiales. Dame un meteorito y ceniza algo. Sí. Qué tremenda bocota, ¿eh? Está lamiendo un poco las pelotas, ¿eh? Mira, mira cómo me lame las pelotas. Cómo le gusta. Nada, fácil, 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 fácil.
That must be the bridge.
5 guiles. Es que da una mierda, tío. O sea, ir a la mierda esta, a estas cosas. Es que ni renta, colmillo afilado, tío. Esparcir restos humanos. ¿Y qué tiramos? ¿La cabeza, un brazo y cosas así? ¿O qué?
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
Se lo podrían haber dado de comer a los chocobos, los imperiales, tío. Vale. Tenemos que volver aquí. Ahora podemos ir con el Muguri. Y el Muguri nos dice dónde está la Escoria, tío.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
No one survived then?
No.
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these black shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening.
No, seprétate la llave tuya, prima.
Before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Completed. Tremenda mierda me ha dado, prima. Pum, pum, pum. Ahora vamos a la guarida. Y bueno, ¿qué tenemos aquí? ¿Esto qué es, tío? El orgullo de alas blancas. ¿Qué es eso? Eso no es una secundaria, ¿no? Es un S+, no es de una secundaria. Las secundarias no se muestran así, ¿no?
Oi! You handy with that sword of yours?
Más o menos.
You are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now,
Question is, are you willing to use it or not? Because a flock and
Por los chocobos todo.
chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos.
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos. Fighting bandits.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back. Looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
Vale, sí.
All right.
Pero me están dando puntos de algo que no sé qué.
Good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way.
Vale, son como secundarias. Vamos a priorizarlo un momento. Se ha cambiado el símbolo de la secundaria, era diferente, ¿no? O me raya yo que flipas.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo.
Blanca, será porque es un chocobo blanco, tío. Pero haberlo llamado el más shiny, tío. O shiny soul. Una pluma.
A white feather.
Joder, qué grande, ¿no?
I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
Aquí han muerto bandidos, ¿no?
Chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
Ahí está, ahí está, ahí está, ahí está, ahí está, ahí está.
You cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you seen it.
Sí. Vamos a pegar, anda. Ay. Next. Le entro. He hecho la parada. Con esto metes de parada a tope, tío. Es imposible. Ya que lo mataba, tío. Al final me ha pegado 2 hostias. Nada, las secundarias son... para adelante y a tomar por culo. Mira cómo se mueve. Mira cómo se mueve, todo gracioso. Mueve el culete. ¿Por qué se mueve así, tío? Hostia, no me jodas. Hostia, no me jodas, tú. Este es el chocobo que él tenía antes. Hostia, no tengo que haberle dado para adelante, tío, en esta misión secundaria, tío. Que era raro, ¿no? O sea... ¿Por qué mueve el culete así, tío? Mira.
Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully they did. And not only that.
Ahora iba a contar todo el rollo de que era mi chocobo de chico.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her.
Que se me va así, tío. Te va ahí.
Lord or something.
Well,
Oh no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
Da igual quien sea, ha dicho. O sea, no me conocen, tío.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Y me flipa cómo mueve el cuerpo, tío. En plan... Le dan un escalofrío, ¿sabes?
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Me va a traer una montura. Vamos a poder ir en chocobo, tú. Vamos a poder ir en chocobo. Vamos a poder ir en chocobo. Dime que sí. Sí, señor. Sí, señor. Qué guapo. Me ha puesto un parche en el ojo, tío. No me jodas, tú. Claro, porque tiene un ojo de la pelea, le queda un ojo... Un ojo malito. El chocobo pirata.
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Estamos en paz, no me digas nada.
Few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides.
Vida más tranquila y feliz, ¿qué dices tú?
We'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now.
Bien.
You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos...
Se le hice el favor, es verdad, tío.
Road, didn't you?
El mismo, tío.
That can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am.
Pero porque no esconde, tío. No dice yo sí tal. Punto.
Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Le ha puesto a las 3 Armadura de esa, tío. ¿Por qué? Arreo de ambrosía. Puede verse en el camarote de Clive. Sí, ante ojeras hechas a medida para ambrosía. En la fiel montura de Clive durante su juventud. Vale, pero... ¿puedo llevarla? Ahora puede montar en ambrosía. Vale, pero quiero utilizar el chocobo. Lo antes posible, por cierto. Ahora puede montar la ambrosía para recorrer junto a la sierra de Valisthea pulsando R3 para llamarla, acércate a ella y pulsa X para subirte a su lomo. Ah, vale, dejándolo pulsado. Let's go. Galopar, frenar, desmontar. Hostia, qué guapo, tío. Qué guapo, tío. Qué puta locura, tío. Además, apretarlo es como que cuesta en play, tío. Está guay, es como... Ah, no, galopar pone. Frenar. Coño. Cuerno grande. Vale, vale. Cuando está en modo galopar, gira rarete. No, gira rarete no, es que no gira, literal. A ver, vamos a ver. Aquí tenemos Cole. Segundo al mando de los Libertadores, es el encargado de coordinar las operaciones de rescate de portales bajo la supervisión de la capitana Doris. Esclavizado y obligado a sentar plaza en el ejército republicano como soldado portador. Pudo escapar gracias a los mismos Libertadores de quienes ahora forma parte. A los mismos. Parece esto que lo estoy escribiendo yo un andaluz, ¿eh? Orden de los caballeros fundada... Guardas oscuros. Orden de los caballeros fundada por la emperatriz Anabela tras su nombramiento como virreina de la provincia imperial de Rosaria. Sirven bajo sus órdenes con el noble pretexto de preservar el orden y la ley en los nuevos dominios imperiales, pero en realidad se dedican a ejecutar portadores. La Purga, tras su nombramiento como virreina de los territorios de Rosaria, anexionados al imperio, Anabela instauró un cuerpo de leales soldados, los guardas oscuros, para preservar el orden y la ley. Sin embargo, sus auténticos designios son otros. Llevan a cabo siniestra matanza de portadores, huidos de la justicia y de todo aquel que ose darle refugio. Estas tropelías, conocidas como purgas, ocurren sin previo aviso y pueden llegar a diezmar aldeas enteras. Vale. Tenemos aquí secundaria y principal. Hay que ir a la guarida. Para allá que vamos. ¿Dónde está Gav? Ha dicho, ¿no? Aquí está, tío. El ojo de Chocobo, porque tiene el mismo ojo, ¿no? Le han cortado el ojo también, ¿no? A ver. Sí, ha perdido el ojo también.
Clive! I've missed that scowl.
Tío, mete una puñalada, Tío, mete una puñalada, Gav.
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head?
Tremendo Pedro,
And
¿no?
how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers. ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
Otra vez. Otra vez.
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the 7 High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
Bien.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for? Eh? Huh?
Tú te quedas. Ahí, está. Este pavo es el que yo quiero ver. Ahora está disponible la lista de misiones, el tablón de anuncios y el rincón de mecenas. Ahora puedes hacer la lista de misiones, el rincón de mecenas y el tablón de anuncios. Las 3 se encuentran en la toldilla.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
¿Dónde está, tío? ¿Está abajo o qué? Las misiones secundarias se ven así. Ahora estoy un poco perdida, ahora no sé dónde están las cosas. Vale. Néctar. Clive, por fin te veo, te he estado buscando, cupo.
What's the matter, Nectar?
Para esto, cupo.
The hunt board. It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Y por eso intento ayuda. Como ya sabes, soy el más ilustre de los Moguri y no pienso dejar que ninguna criatura más fuerte que yo campe sus anchas por ahí. Ni hablar, cupo. Quiero que acabes con todos esos monstruos por mí, cupo. Entonces no eres el más poderoso.
Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Gracias, como me alegra haber encontrado a alguien que me entienda, cupo. Me quedaré aquí y echaré un vistazo a los encargos que pongan en el tablón. Si quieres saber algo más, no te cortes y preguntas. Ay. Quiero ver el tablón de anuncios, tío. A ver. En Valisthea existen criaturas de extraordinaria fuerza conocidas como Escorias. En el tablón de anuncios podrás comprobar dónde encontrarlas y la recompensa que obtendrás si las derrotas. Ahora esa la he eliminado. Pero quiero pillarlas, tío. No puedo pillar esas misiones. Sanbreque y Rosaria. Ah, vale, no puedo porque tengo que hacer literal. Ahora mismo tengo que ir a hacer full principal. Tengo que hacer full principal, no puedo hacer secundaria. Bueno, no pasa nada.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares.
Estaba claro.
Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side,
Vale.
I must do the same.
Ahora entiendo muchas cosas. Ahora toca la historia de ella, ¿no?
We'll face it together then.
O su dominante, ¿no? To the end. ¿Qué te pasa, chuchete?
Come on.
Come on to the radio. Lazos de sangre.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry.
Acantilado cañido del halcón. Y esto lo tenemos, tal, no sé qué. Las 7 casas de Rosaria. Las 7 familias aristocráticas del antiguo Gran Ducado de Rosaria. Sus orígenes se remontan a la dinastía que regían las pequeñas provincias independientes que se unificaron para formar el ducado. Antaño gozaban de gran influencia política, pero la emperatriz Anabela revocó toda su autoridad tras la anexión imperial. Reino de Hierro. Nación insular ubicada dentro de la costa occidental de Tormentia, cuya capital es Loiste. Sus habitantes son fieles devotos de la ortodoxia cristalina, religión que venera el hálito del dragón como un dios y tacha a portadores y dominantes de monstruos impios nacidos del pecado por poder usar magia. Acto prohibido en el archipiélago. Los sangreférreos resueltos a apoderarse de todos los cristales madre para rendirles pleitesía, se enzarzan continuamente en conflictos bélicos con el resto de naciones de Valisthea.
Between here and Port Isolde, we visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Aldea Amber. O sea, si yo dejo aquí pulsado, mi chocobo aparece de la nada. Me gusta. Ah, y ellos también montan en chocobo. No me jodas que mi perro va en chocobo. Ay, me ha asustado, digo. Hostia, estaría guapísimo, tío. Estaría guapísimo mi perro en chocobo, tío. Así da gustito, la verdad. Así da gustito.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Thought they were loyalists.
Jill, look.
A donde venimos pasan cosas malas, todo el rato.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the
La guardia
ashes
oscura, podemos matarlo.
to welcome a new dawn. It would be a pity to make examples of you all for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
Algo habrá aquí que esconde. Pregunta a los aldeanos. Como siempre. Siempre lo mismo. Llegas, pregunta y te pegas.
But what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered.
Bien hecho.
The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
Están vendiendo al asesino y ladrón.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands.
Es una expresión bastante española.
If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to... Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing.
¿Cómo que nada habla con los falsos? Te meto una puñalada,
I speak for
Te
the
meto
people of
una
this village,
puñalada.
and we have nothing more to say to you.
Corta
You
el
are to
cuello, anda.
leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tribute,
Sois unos mierdas. Sí, claro. Sois unos mierdas.
then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way.
Yo mátalo y yo meter una puñalada en el pecho, al viejo. Si le queda poco de vida, ¿qué más da? Mira, si yo vengo aquí y me pongo a tirar piro.
These people live with a knife to their throats.
Por cortarle la soga.
In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
No.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha...
Sí, ahora nos vamos a pegar con la madre que me odiaba, ¿sabes? Me tenía como el hijo bastardo, hijo de la gran puta.
Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Perhaps, ha dicho. Uy. Aquí. Gobierno de la provincia imperial de Rosaria. Órgano ejecutivo de la provincia imperial de Rosaria. Tras la anexión de Ducado a sus dominios, el emperador Silvestre delegó el gobierno de esta región en la emperatriz Anabela, a quien nombró virreina. Uno de sus primeros actos tras la concesión del cargo fue la instauración del cuerpo de guardas oscuros, una orden de los caballeros destinada a preservar el orden y la ley en Rosaria, que acabó degenerando el ejército en el ejército personal de la emperatriz. Esta lleva a cabo purgas en las que da muerte a portadores y a aquellos que le ofrecen refugio. Anabel Lesach, emperatriz del Sacro Imperio de Sambreque, antes archiduquesa de Rosaria, obsesionada con la preservación del linaje del Fénix. Traiciona a su marido y se alía con el Sacro Imperio de Sambreque. Ahora es virreina de la provincia imperial de Rosaria, que gobierna con una crueldad nunca antes vista en tiempo del archiduque Elwing. Es mi putísima madre, vaya. Así de claro. Mi putísima madre. Ve al puerto y solda. Lost Plum. Vamos. Chocobo. La musiquita del chocobo la polla,
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever
Va más
lurks.
rápido, así que renta. Cazador Imperio. Espérate. Coño.
Since the apodatory, we've seen more and more.
Vete, vete, Chocobo, no quiero que te peguen.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's black.
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Parecían más... No sé. Parecían otra cosa, la verdad. Tiuri. Voy a coger el chocobo todo el rato para escuchar la cancioncita, ¿eh? Muy bien, la verdad. Es que no renta pegarse con nadie, tío. Sí que son nivel de mierda, son enemigos basura. A no ser que sea un enemigo de estos de la que se llaman Escoria, lo demás no renta para nada, tío. Coño. No te da tiempo, el juego como que se queda pillado, se queda parado cuando llamas al chocobo para que aparezca, ¿sabes? Para crearlo. Da igual, eso no. No me voy a pegar con nadie, se queda igual. ¿Para qué? Oh, una arañita. Bueno, si me pega aquí, bueno, aquí a lo mejor sí renta, ¿eh? No, le he fallado. Los otros se han pirado. Sangre.
Blood, Clive.
Blood.
And still wet.
Se ha tirado, ¿eh? Alguien se ha suicidado. Más bichos, tío.
To stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still,
hermano, es que os reviento muy fácil.
Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn.
¿Qué tiene que hacer? Una espada con alguien que tira fuego, ¿sabes?
Swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield, Rosaria.
La que le está cayendo este pavo, ¿no? Quería que le matara al perro, tío, bocado. Los enemigos son bastante mierda, tío. O sea, los enemigos normales así, como estas pelitas, son muy... Vale, tenemos 1000 puntos de habilidad, tío. Necesito 1700 aproximadamente. Un poquito menos. ¿Sabería eso? ¿Son normales?
Why, you... We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Pero bueno, Ibai, ¿por qué te ríes?
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Por si acaso.
Ready, go? Run like the wind.
Thanks, girl. Find something, boy. Death.
Putrefacción. Tía. Los han colgado, ¿eh? Oye, están todos boca arriba menos uno, tío. Hay uno que está boca abajo. ¿Ese qué pasa? Bueno, dos. Están boca abajo. Todos marcados, ¿eh?
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
Joder, cómo está la madre, ¿no? De la puta cabeza.
We can't leave them here like this.
We will...
Vamos a ir al puerto. Vale, el puerto se viene en plan por aquí.
But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
¿Puedo mirar si hay algo por aquí, alguna caja o algo, tío? O no habrá nada. O sea, es que no ponen nada, es como... Está lleno de todo, pero a la vez nada útil para mí. Un poco raro. Tío, ¿por qué no puedo utilizar el chocobo, tío?
This is no time to ride.
¿Por qué, tío? Es como el profesor... Oh, cada cosa en su momento. Ay, joder, miro por otro lado, tío.
No doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Fly, Ambrosia.
I can walk from here.
quite dead, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage by
Examinar. En honor a los 250 años de historia del Gran Ducado de Rosaria. Gloria eterna al Fénix y a su pueblo. En honor a... Dice lo mismo. Sí, dice lo mismo. Si estamos en el 878... Pues 150 años, ¿no? Y yo, que me deje, please. Déjame utilizar el chocobo, desgraciado. La playa.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
El chocobo planea.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Vale.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy! Voice-ridden dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here.
Oh, getting us
Fuck off.
Chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your
Ay, de zarrapastrosos.
cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
¿Hay que dar la vuelta o qué?
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same.
Bueno,
Was that the only way
sobornarlo.
in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
Vale. Interesante.
We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
I don't know.
As long as it is abandoned.
La llama de la esperanza.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for. Now we know why the refugees didn't come here.
Keep looking then.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Tendré que abrir puerta a lo mejor. No parece.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
¿En serio? Enough.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
No. Tú no serás el que... El pavo este, tío, que estaba conmigo, ¿no?
Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is.
Wade, sí.
So Wade.
Era Tyr, ¿no? No, Tyr. ¿Cómo se llamaba? Sí, vamos que sí. Eran los dos estos, ¿no?
We can speak inside.
Gente, digo, acabamos de matar a 10 de sus amigos, supongo, ¿no? Ah, no, no lo hemos matado. Los hemos noqueado.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Por lo que pasó a su hijo Joshua, ¿no?
So Wade, the Black Shields
Supongo
are
que lo
broken
maté yo.
camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps... Perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
Bien. Son nuestros compañeros ahora, ¿no?
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Aprovisionarnos. ¿De qué?
What is it you require?
Lo de la hoja de Gaia no lo entiendo. Borla roja de escarlata. Todo lo que sea lila no lo voy a vender, pero bueno.
May it serve the cause well. Our thanks, my lord. I'm sure that it will prove...
Es que todo es basura realmente, tío. Esto no voy a vender nada, de los que sean alitos de no sé qué. No, te quiero vender nada.
I will be here should you need aught else.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
Sir Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Vale.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Vale, tenemos que matar, ¿no? Algunos personajes se unirán a tu grupo como compañeros durante un tiempo. Sin embargo, no podrán acompañarte si te desplazas a otras ubicaciones del mapa. Lógico.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say,
Él también tiene un choco dorado.
it's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Faster!
Coño, me he pulsado dos veces sin querer, tú. Renta mucho utilizar el chocobo. Va muy rápido. Hola, señores.
What is it now? I told you. We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame. Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds,
A ver, podéis meter con quien queráis.
and a dog
Pero con el perro no.
could guard aught against the might of the
Con el
Black
perro.
Shields. Then come, die along with your flame.
No creo.
For Azaria! For
Escoria.
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Nice try.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battle for them.
More dragons!
Warriors, the Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
¿Esa hostia soy del perro? Cojones.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Vale.
So Wade,
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You ain't finished yet.
No me gusta ese. Jeje. Con eso le meto muchas paradas. Vale, estoy pensando en hacer un combo. Estoy pensando en hacer un combo de tanto de hielo, o sea, hielo, como de eléctrico, fuego y el otro del viento de aturdir, para aturdir rápido, y luego otro combo para cuando sea vulnerable meterle todo el ataque, los tres más potentes. Creo que se va a poder.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did.
He intentado hacerlo, pero no me ha salido muy bien. O sea, me ha salido relativamente bien. Pero no muy bien.
We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Vale. Siguiente parada. Misión cumplida. 1267 de punto de habilidad solo, tío. Soy nivel 26. Soy 3 nivelitos, ¿eh? O 4. No, 3 nivelitos. 3 nivelitos hemos subido. Bien. Tiene pinta de que esto llega a nivel 50 por lo menos. Lo que es la historia. O más. Pero está todo el rato lleno de cinemáticas. O sea, cada 3 minutos cinemática. Y además cinemáticas largas.
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
Una carta, ¿no? Ha dicho.
It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
O sea, una carta, una insignia. Estaba hablando de una insignia, que es lo que nos dan siempre para que podamos colarnos por todos lados.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it.
Bueno, atacarnos. Los he matado, o sea que...
If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Vale. ¿Qué deberíamos hacer ahora? Ahora tenemos que ir a la guarida. A lo mejor. Ah, no, claro, tenemos que ir al puerto, claro, para hablar con el tío de... del pavo este. Mención Rosfield. Con el tío Rosfield, sí.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. He means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago.
No.
And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue. You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow.
Esto es algo que no podría saber nadie, ¿no? Solo él.
For thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Lo está viendo a él. It's impossible.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddo in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. It's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
En una semana.
Then, about everything.
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. Until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. Besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite.
Ha hecho de infame otra vez.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Why then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Muy bien. I like it.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Como para no preocuparle, tú.
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to...
¿Lo harán ya o no?
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Puta mierda, tío. Puta mierda, juego. Puta basura. Y el perro nos sigue siempre a todos lados, Vale. Puerta y solda. Y ahora tenemos que ir a la guarida, ¿no? No puedo hacer nada, tío. Tengo que ir a la guarida por cojones. Vale, vamos a la guarida. Bueno, la guarida lo vamos a dejar ahí. Sangre, hierro y fe. Hierro y fe.
Only the founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Hay nuevas cartas, por cierto, ponía. Vale, quería ver esto, tío. Quería ver esto, ¿por qué? Uy, atributos del perro. Tiene rango el perro, no me jodas, ¿qué me estás contando? Joder, no lo sabía. Vale. Lo que yo quería era exactamente aquí. Cuadrado. ¿Veis? Aquí tengo cuadrado fuerza. Aquí tengo cuadrado lo otro. ¿Qué sé? ¿Cómo se dice el otro? Vulnerabilidad. Lo que quiero es tener en el cuadrado todo lo que sea fuerza. Y en el triángulo todo lo contrario. Vale. ¿Cómo quitar? Vale, cuadrado es fuerza, triángulo es habilidad. Digamos, entre comillas. Coño. Cuadrado es fuerza, es menos. Por eso voy a poner las garras aquí. Piro barrido, what the fuck. Vale. Esto, los triángulos es lo que vamos a hacer para meter vulnerabilidad. Y esto es lo que vamos a hacer para hacer daño. Luego las habilidades 1267. Claro, porque luego para hacer daño deberíamos tener... Para hacer daño, esto es... Buah, esto es para meter ahí a hostias, tal. Esto es para hacer daño. Yo me estoy entendiendo lo que quiero hacer. Especial. Ifrit. Vale. Yo entiendo lo que quiero hacer. Por cierto, tengo ahí. Eso marca. ¿Y esto, tío? Tribulaciones de un herrero. Vale. Bueno, vamos a guardar y vamos a dejarlo por aquí. Empezamos al 22 y terminamos al 26, ¿eh? Ojo, ¿eh? Al 26 ya. Bien.